Now, before you start on your spiritual development and your spiritual journey, you have to do this one thing. And that one thing is grounding yourself. And when I mean grounding yourself, it's basically balancing your root chakra. It sounds very esoteric and stuff, but the root chakra is basically that energy center that is located at the base of your spine. Now, your body has 7 energy centers that correlates to 7 chakras, and that correlate to 7 colors, and then you have 7 sounds, 7 frequencies, the solfeggio frequencies. Now, before we get into those complicated stuff, let me just talk about the root chakra and how you have to balance it and how you can ground yourself before you go start this process of spiritual development. So the whole basis, like if you know about the root chakra, if you know that you have to ground yourself, what I mean by that is when you have this fear, when you have anxiety, when you have depression, when you're feeling uneasy, when you're not really sure on your direction on any given moment, on every day, on a daily basis, if you don't know your direction, if you're feeling so lost and uneasy, that means you are not grounded. And if you feel anxiety, if you feel that sense of uneasiness when you're talking in a group, when you're in a social situation, that means your root chakra is not balanced. That means you are not grounded. So you have to ground yourself. So when you're grounding yourself, essentially you'll be free from this fear of what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen if I open up? What's going to happen if I talk? What's going to happen if I say my opinions? It's just that fear of uncertainty, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. And that is essentially, how you deal with the root chakra. If it's not balanced, you will start feeling anxious, you'll start feeling so fearful, and you'll have all these phobias. Like if you're going to sleep, like, oh my God, it's getting dark, and you hear some sound in the back and you get freaked out. I mean, getting a little scared is okay, but then you get completely freaked out. Like, what the hell is going on here? And you have this total fear. Like your state, your vibrational state is vibrating at the frequency of fear, guilt, shame, anger. It's all unbalanced. You're not really grounded. If somebody comes and tells you something, like just a small sentence, you get extremely triggered and you start exhibiting all the anger, all this pent up stress, all the pent up guilt that you have inside, and you start projecting outside in any given social situation. That essentially is one of the key factors that determine that you are not grounded. So when you are grounded, when you have this balanced root chakra, you have the ability to stay comfortable in your own skin. You can go into any social situation and you don't really have any fear. You don't have any fear to address your opinions, say what's on your mind, speak up whatever's there on the inside, and you're not really afraid. You don't have this anxiety, you don't have this depression, you don't face panic attacks, and everything feels so calm. You're grounded. At any given state, you're grounded. If somebody tells something, you're not easily triggered, you're not easily influenced by other people's words or opinions. You stay true to your own value, you stay true to your own opinions and facts, and you're completely grounded. You're completely stoic. So that is the biggest benefit, one of the biggest, like most of the biggest benefits of balancing your root chakra or being grounded. So how you can actually become grounded? How do you stay grounded and balance your root chakra? So the easiest way is to get out in nature, because trees and plants have this ability to absorb negative energy. So when you come across people who always talk negative stuff, always say their life is messed up, everything's bad, they have this pessimistic view on life, and whatever you say, they kind of turn it into negative, and they kind of lower your vibrational state. Even if you're happy, even if you're feeling amazing that given moment, they have this ability to bring you down to this negative vibration, essentially ruining your day, and kind of put you in the state of anger, put you in the state of guilt and shame, make you feel guilty, make you feel shameful, make you feel all the fear that you have, even though you were all in this amazing mood, you're in this amazing state, you're having the best time of your life, and they come and ruin it all. All right. So when you have this grounding energy, And many energy vampires use this as an opportunity to steal your energy. They kind of drain your energy, lower down your vibrational state, and then they come and influence you with their negativity, kind of draining you from your energy. And that's how they steal your luck. So when you start grounding yourself, or when you start putting yourself out in nature, trees, plants, and just out in nature in general, it has the ability to absorb negative energy. If you're carrying any negative energies, if you're an empath who absorbs people energy, if you're the person who gets into any conversation and kind of absorb the other people's negativity, if somebody's sad and you go talk to them and you kind of absorb their sadness, get out in nature. That's the easiest way, and it's not very complicated. Just stay in nature. You would notice, all right, when it's a sunny day and you're out in nature, you feel so warm and nice. And even if there's no sunlight, all right, if it's a very gloomy day and it's raining or drizzling like here now, get yourself out in nature. It kind of grounds you, it kind of stabilizes you. And being around trees kind of balances your root chakra, and that's the easiest hack that you can apply. Another thing that you can do is let go. Start meditating, apply breath work techniques, take in deep breath throughout the day. So whenever you feel something uneasy, all right, take a deep breath in, hold it in, and breathe it out. And when you breathe it out, let go of all the painful emotions, let go of all the painful thoughts that you're experiencing. And when you let go, let it out. Feel that negative emotion or the painful emotion kind of leaving your body. Kind of stabilize yourself, ground yourself. Now, this is another technique, or one of the other ways that you can kind of ground yourself, kind of stabilize yourself, and balance your root chakra. So now, the root chakra is the main thing, because if you want to progress spiritually, if you really want to progress and let go and start manifesting your desired life, you have to balance your root chakra. And the first thing is letting go of any painful emotions, and that starts by balancing your root chakra. Let go of all your painful thoughts, painful emotions, ground yourself, and gain this ability to stay stoic. When somebody's saying something very negative about you, if somebody's trying to provoke you, if somebody's trying to provoke or trying to trigger you, trigger all the painful emotions, all the anger and all the hate that you have, you are balanced, you are stoic, you're grounded, you're like a mountain. They're throwing stones and nothing's happening. That's how you ground yourself. And when you gain this ability to stay stoic, when somebody is, kind of provoking you, expecting a reaction from you, it is much more easier to transcend and stay in this higher vibrational frequency and then manifest whatever you desire. Because most of the times, our life, like 85-90% of the time, it is being consumed by external triggers, past trauma, and future worries. 85-90% of the time, this is what our life, our brain is consumed by. And that is why we always rant about the good old days. Things were so much better in our childhood. Things were so much better 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And then you kind of realize, all this time you've been living in this derp state. You've been consumed by your past trauma. You get consumed by other people's emotions. When somebody else comes and triggers you, when somebody else comes and provokes you, you get consumed by that. You go have a conversation with somebody, they kind of provoke your inner demon, and it raises up, and then you start worrying about the future. You're not really there in the present moment. So all this present moment, third eye, heart chakra, being in the state of love comes only when you first start grounding yourself. And when I mean ground yourself, balance your root chakra, let go of the past trauma, and start being stoic. When I mean stoic, I don't mean to be very stubborn and like a stone. You're completely non-reactive, and you conduct conversation to the external world. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is you don't allow anyone to provoke or trigger all the painful and the negative emotions that you experience. You don't allow any external situation to put you off balance, to put you off alignment. You don't allow your mind to be run by past trauma. You don't allow your mind to be, run by future worries. Whatever it is, you're letting go of it and being stoic, being calm, being grounded. And this gives you the ability to stay in the present moment and actually unlocks higher consciousness. And you kind of get this spiritual download sometimes, and you tap into the flow state. When you are grounded, it gets much more easier. When you don't have the fear, when you don't have anxiety, when you don't have the fear of being judged by other people, you unlock the superpower. And this itself, puts you way, way, way ahead of everybody else. Because if you look around, everybody else is being run by past trauma. Everyone is being triggered by small situations. And this is the reason there's so many people who say that they're not happy. Happiness is not something external that you get after achieving or receiving something or attaining something or acquiring something. Happiness is just a state of mind. You can choose to be happy right now, right here. It doesn't really matter. It's your choice. So all that woo-woo, like amazing stuff happens only if you start grounding yourself. Only when you start, and grounding yourself also protects you from energy vampires and also negative energy. And you will notice, like, once you start grounding yourself, once you balance your root chakra, you will go into any conversation, and when somebody is sad, somebody is really talking all this negative stuff, you don't really absorb their negative energy. Even though if you're an empath and you have the ability, or you have that nature of observing people's energy, people's negative energy, you will notice that after grounding yourself, you will not really absorb their negative energy. You will know how to shut off negative energy and be in the state of neutrality, irrespective of what anyone's saying. You're not really getting triggered by anybody else. You're not really getting triggered by external substances. You've let go of your past trauma. You're being simply living in the present moment. Now, that is how you balance the root chakra. Also, you can apply some further techniques. You can walk barefoot in grass. Now, that's a faster way to kind of ground yourself. Like some days, if you're being consumed by a pendulum swing, if you're really consumed by these dark emotions, just go barefoot, walk on grass, spend time in nature. This is the fastest way to ground yourself. And some days, if you want to take it a little slow, if you don't have access to nature, let's say you are stuck in a building, meditate, take in deep breaths in, and be completely aware. When you let out the breath, let go of the painful emotions with it. Add in breath work, kind of add in visualization of you kind of letting go of the negative energy. And literally, this is the hack of kind of guarding yourself and balancing your root chakra.